everyone, and welcome back to another episode of From the Stands. My name's Courtney.
And my name's Kendall.
And today we're here to talk to you all about
my most favorite thing in the world, March Madness.
Ooh. I know nothing about March Madness, so I'm excited to learn from Kendall, who is the master, in my opinion. So...
I'm excited. March Madness has been a big thing in my home growing up, so I owe it mostly to my dad for teaching me, but I am just so excited to talk about it. I guess, Courtney, you do know more than I think you give yourself credit for. How about you explain a little bit what even is just March Madness?
Okay, so March Madness happens in March. It starts in March, actually. And it will go until, I believe it's April, like somewhere in April, basically until it's done. And the way that it was explained to me a couple years ago was that it is the Super Bowl of college basketball. And I love football. You guys will figure that out soon enough. But the moment I was explained to it like that, I was like, okay, I can get behind this. And then watching it, it's been fun. Today I actually learned that they'll refer to, is it March Madness as a whole, or just like the final game as the big dance?
The whole tournament.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect. So the big dance starts in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3,
2. What is today? So Selection Sunday starts, is March 16th. Oh, and then we start, I believe it's that Thursday after. I need to double check. That's when brackets lock. So.
Oh, yeah, brackets are a thing.
Mm-hmm. It honestly is my favorite. I fill out quite a few brackets, and I have a couple of different leagues, so. Yeah.
Wait, they're like. Isn't it known like no one has had a perfect bracket?
Yeah, it's just the way it works. There's never been a perfect bracket because there's so many different upsets, Cinderella stories, that just the probability is just, it's insane to try and figure out how to get a perfect bracket, so.
Dude, I did some homework before this. Like, maybe one assignment. Not really, but, like, preparing for this. According to Google, I don't know how accurate this is, but there is a man in Columbus, Ohio, who is a neurologist. He has the closest verified bracket to date. And his name is Greg Nigel, I believe. And I think that's kind of silly. Not like hee but like, but I think that's kind of like crazy and random. Mm-hmm. Like no offense to Ohio, no offense to Columbus or neurologists. That's just super random. But then I think about when I'm doing a bracket with like a group of friends, it's always the person you least expect that does kind of like better than the rest.
No, exactly. I feel like it's one of those things that the more research I do, the worse I do. I remember like we have a friend that she decided to pick who was gonna win based on which mascot looked cooler, and she ended up winning her league. And I, as somebody who puts a lot of effort in, it makes me a little angry, but also I understand, like, I'm here for it, so.
Do you think you're gonna do like a silly bracket this year?
I might need to, just to like lower my stress. I'm like, oh yeah, like I need something silly and fun. So,
dude, I think we should list off some of the silly topics or I'm gonna say topics that people can pick brackets from if they're like not sure, because maybe some people don't know. So you could do like our friend did, the mascot that you think is cooler. I've heard somebody do, it's the battle of the mascots, and actually that happened in 2020. It was all over Twitter, I think, right after COVID, right? Because like it was, anyways, crazy. I remember BYU's mascot was in the mix, and I remember literally taking my mom's phone and like voting on her phone. I was like, no, like Cosmo's gonna win. So you could do a battle of the mascots. I've wanted to do this. The tallest head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Or the shortest head coach. Yeah. Out of the two.
Yeah. Like, you could do it. Maybe this is shallow of me, but based on attractiveness of players. I've thought about doing that. It could be fun.
Not shallow.
Not. We'll see who would win. I'm biased, BYU, obviously.
For sure.
But yeah, there's honestly so many you could do, like favorite colors. So if you aren't in it for
Cost of attendance.
oh, true. The Ivy Leagues would win for sure. Yale.
Harvard.
Yeah. But yeah, so wherever you are, you can definitely like participate. It's not something you don't have to know about basketball to be able to participate in it.
Honestly, the less you know, probably the better in your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Anyways, so there's our bracketology talk.
Yeah, a little bit of bracketology. So I guess just like diving into what March Madness is and kind of what makes up March Madness. So it's a tournament, and it's supposed to find the best team in college basketball. So it gets narrowed down to 68 teams. So about 31 or 32 of those teams are selected. They get automatic bids, or like automatic spots into the tournament based on if they've won their conference. So like Big 12 conference winner gets an automatic bid, and it goes all the way down to smaller conferences such as like Big Sky. They get an automatic bid into the conference, and then the other spots are all picked based on kind of an algorithm in a way, but it's based on like strength of schedule and amount of wins on the road and at home and the strength of their offense and defense. So that's where a lot of those other bids get. So you get a lot of teams that come from bigger conferences like the Big 12 and the Big 10 and ACC, SEC. That's where you get a lot of the higher bids. So that's kind of what makes up those 68 teams in the tournament. So kind of cool. I actually didn't know some of that before I did the research into it. So you have the 68 teams. You get 8 of those teams. I believe it's 8 of those teams. Yeah, 8 of those teams, they're going to participate in play-in games. So you have 4 play-in games that will eliminate the first 4 teams. Brackets don't lock actually until after those first 4 games are played. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Brackets lock as soon as the first game of the round of 64 starts. So you have a little bit of time, but it's kind of fun. So you get those 4 playing games, get a little bit of taste of who's going to get in it. And then it starts off with the round of 64, which goes for 2 days. Then the round of 32, which goes for 2 days. Then it goes to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, Final 4, and then the National Championship Tournament. Or
the big dance.
The
biggest dance.
The final dance.
Oh, the last tango. No,
yeah,
just kidding.
There you go.
Just kidding. That's probably another thing in sports that I just don't know yet.
I think it's honestly my favorite because those first 4 days especially, it's like 12 hours of basketball straight. Like, you have 4 games going on at once. Like, I have been, there was times when I was in class that I had all 4 games up, and was I paying attention very well? No. But it's okay.
No, but shame on the teacher for teaching.
No, exactly.
If any of my teachers are seeing this, I didn't say it.
I did try convincing the doctor I work for to take March Madness off. He didn't think it was that good of an idea, so unfortunately I do have to work during March Madness.
But after.
But luckily will I probably be having it on in the background? Yes. But that's okay because it's what you do. It's what you do as a sports fan.
Make sacrifices.
No, exactly.
And it's okay.
Yeah, so kind of fun. So that's just a little bit about the conference. Just some fun facts. As of right now, UCLA does hold the record for the most amount of national championships won. They have 11. Kentucky is next at 8, and North Carolina next at 6. Yeah, so kind of fun. 10 out of those 11 for UCLA were won by John Wooden, which we're going to hopefully give a little highlight to in just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of fun. So that's a little bit of how the tournament works. And it's, as you guys, it's literally my favorite thing.
It's so fun to, like, learn about. And also, just a precursor, I guess. We're actually recording this before Selection Sunday. And we still have college basketball, like, regular season going on. BYU plays Utah on Saturday, and that's in, like, 2 days or something like that. So everything we're saying is everyone's still in their dance lessons right now, prepping for that. I'm so here for that.
I'm loving it.
I'm so here
I
for
love
it. So that's what's going on in the basketball world right now, like in our time. And then next episode, we're planning on going into the rules of basketball. Just kind of good things to know. So today is March Madness. Next week will be basketball rules, and we'll try to explain.
Yeah.
With some video footage.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to kind of hopefully showcase a little bit, so that way when you are watching March Madness, you can start to understand, like, oh, that's like what that means, and that's what that means.
Yeah.
So kind of fun.
So just a fun thing to look forward to, and hopefully that one drops the day before brackets close. I think that's what we're planning on doing.
Tis the hope.
So anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Back to the real talk.
No, it's exciting. I'm excited for this next for this tournament. There's some fun teams and some fun players. I think a fun player to be able to watch, Cooper Flagg.
Who does he play for?
He plays for Duke.
Okay.
So Duke is a historically really good basketball school.
Yes.
So they are currently ranked number 1. They just barely beat out Auburn this past week, but we'll see if that stays. So he should be fun. I think Cooper Flagg will be the number 1 NBA draft pick, so he will be a fun person to watch. My prediction for this is another thing I forgot to explain. Oh yeah, so with March Madness in the bracket, and they have different rankings. So there's 4 regions, and each of those 4 regions are broken up into 16 teams, and each of the 16 teams is given a ranking based on kind of how well they are, how well they play and stuff. And they'll have teams played up. So a 1 seed will play a 16 seed, a 2 seed will play a 15 seed, 3 seed plays a 14 seed, etc., etc. And you'll kind of see that. And I think, honestly, this year, I think Duke, Auburn, Houston, and then I'm hoping Tennessee will be the top, will be our 4 number 1 seeds. So I'm excited. I think one of the things that I get so excited for with March Madness, and especially as it's kind of evolved in the past 10 years, is you used to see a really big kind of skill gap between a 1 seed and a 16 seed. You used to kind of see that, and it was almost always a, like, automatic guarantee. You're filling out your brackets, you're like, oh, 16 will lose to a 1 seed automatically.
Yeah.
But in the past 10 years, you've started to really see that gap start to close, where you can't always just expect a 1 seed to beat a 16 seed. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, we've actually had a couple of 16 seeds beat a 1 seed.
Yeah.
So I think it's just really cool that because basketball has become so widespread and so many people have access to it and they've been able to develop those skills, like, you're starting to see so many cool things come, and the skill level's just getting closer together, and you get just crazy games. Like, you get so many fun buzzer beaters, you see so many Cinderella stories and upsets, and it's honestly just, it's so exciting. I just love it.
The best stories, in my opinion, are those upsets, like the underdogs. Something that's been shared around a lot our neck of the woods is it's okay to be an underdog. Like, go surprise the world. Go show them who you're really about, and, like, maybe that's a little too deep for sports. Like, I don't know. But I really, like, love that, and seeing that happen on the court, like, my favorite question is, so Courtney, like, what do you think? And I'm like, it doesn't really matter what I think, because, like, who knows what's going to happen on the court? Like, who knows what player who was injured but is going to play. Like, he's doing better now, and who knows what player is going to get injured on the, like, you never know. And there are so many factors that, like, they're working on behind the scenes that it's cool to see, like, unfold. So, like, I'm really excited to see those different types of games, and don't count the last person out.
Exactly.
Like, the game's not over until that last buzzer happens, and we see that with the buzzer beater games, which is so fun.
Yeah. That reminds me, I think my most absolute favorite March Madness story is of the St. Peter's Peacocks, a 15 seed who made it to the Elite Eight. I particularly remember them because one of their top players had a really beautiful mustache, and I am a sucker for a mustache. That's just a side note. But I just remember, like, watching them, and I was like, who even are the St. Peter's, like, Peacocks? I still probably couldn't even tell you where they are. But I remember, like, them beating Purdue, and I remember them, like, winning and just being like, oh, my gosh, this 15 seed is going to the Elite Eight. Like, that is just crazy. So I think that's one of the things that just makes me excited, because you really and truly just never know, like, what you're going to see. You're never going to know which team is just going to play out of their mind, because this is, like, these teams are playing out of their mind because they are out for blood. Like, they are trying to earn a title. And that kind of just, like, grit and drive is so fun to be able to see.
Yeah. I don't think I have a favorite March Madness memory because I don't really remember them. LOL. I'm a fake. No, just kidding. We're getting there. But it kind of gives, like, no matter who you're playing in March Madness, they're like your rival, pretty much. And one of my favorite rival games is coming up. It's the Holy War. But my next favorite is the Tennessee-Alabama games. Football, basketball, you name it. They've had this rivalry going on for years. It's like the longest time. I spent some time in Tennessee. I'll go back. And it's like rooted deep. Like, it's now a family rivalry. Like, it is deeply rooted out there. And they played... When did they play? Last week, I think? Last time they played. It was neck to neck. Not the whole time. But it ended up being tied at the end. And we're like, oh shoot, like, it's not gonna happen. Like, it's not gonna happen. And we were freaking in Knoxville. And so I'm like, oh, come on. I'm a big Tennessee fan. Not a Bama fan. Sorry. Sue me. Please don't. But I bleed orange. And I was like, okay, we have to win. Like, we have to win. And for whatever reason, I will be so calm during a game. Well, not really. You've been to games with me. But, like, when I'm watching a game, I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do. So, basically, I'm a big fan. But I remember watching, and they had a buzzer beater. And Tennessee pulled the win, and it was quite emotional. I don't know if it's because... I'm not going to cry about it. Excuse me. Yeah, no, we're chilling. I don't know if it's because, like, that rivalry was so deep. But, like, after that win, I was like, bruh, bring it on. Like, let's have more of these type of games where it's not like, oh, like, it's a non-conference play. Like, it doesn't matter. Oh, bruh, every game matters. So, I'm here for the games. I'm here for the competitiveness. I'm excited to see who comes out on top. I need Tennessee to be a top 4. That's it.
I'm excited to see who the underdogs are in the Cinderella stories, and to cry over. Have I shed tears over a bracket being broken? I have. I do admit that.
Respectfully, because sometimes the punishments are, like, horrendous. Don't ask me to take the ACT again.
Yeah, no.
Like, absolutely not.
Literally. So, but kind of fun.
Yeah.
I guess to kind of I don't know what I just said. I guess to kind of finish up, just, I know we talked about John Wooden, just kind of our player of the game. So we wanted to just highlight John Wooden, who he's known more for his coaching. He was a coach that honestly, like, was transformative in college basketball. He did play, though. He played at Purdue, and he played professionally. He played in the NBL, which is a precursor to the NBA. We're hoping to maybe go into the history of the NBA once we get closer to the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
But kind of fun. So he did play professionally. But he began coaching at Daytona High, and then he went to Indiana State University and ended up at UCLA, where he won 10 national championships. And he coached players like Kareem and Bill Walton, who have done amazing things in the basketball world. So just kind of a really cool player. He actually also has an award named after him, the John R. Wooden Award, which is kind of comparable to the Heisman for football.
Okay.
So
it's a big deal.
Kind of a big deal to receive that award. But you'll hear people talk a lot about him and kind of his coaching methods and just kind of how he honestly shaped a lot of college basketball and changed coaching for college basketball, which honestly changes the players and all that goes along with it. So kind of our highlight for it. So
dude, we love it.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun. I did not know that about him. Mm-hmm. Like his own little trophy.
Yeah,
probably not little, but
kind of fun.
You know. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. Feel free to leave a comment. I don't know. Do whatever. You know what to do. You know the drill.
You can drop your favorite March Madness moments or maybe moments you're hoping to have. Yes. How are you going to structure your bracket?
Honestly, do all the above. Also, if you have any questions about basketball that you want us to address next time, leave a comment, message us. Somehow get it into our inbox. So then
you can find us on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah. That's not wrong. We do have those. I thought there was another one we had. Anyways, but that's it from us. Have a great
time.